Welcome to Channel Today in History. In today's video we will talk about the day, November 27, 1520, crossing the Strait of Magellan. Fernão de Demogalese was the Portuguese navigator who started the Spanish expedition that would travel around the world for the first time. As a young man, he had traveled to India on a Portuguese expedition, during which he had obtained information about the existence of the Moluccas Islands, very rich by the abundance of the then very expensive spices. Back in Portugal, he thought of organizing a route traveling west, considering that if the islands were beyond India, they shouldn't be too far from the new American territories. Magellan's project was based on the Earth being a sphere, even though its dimensions are larger than he calculated. The challenge would be to find a passage through Southern America that would allow us to reach the Moluccas and its riches. This project did not excite the King of Portugal, so Magellan exposed his plans to the Spanish crown. He convinced Carlos I by giving two convincing reasons: the route to the west was possible, and the shortest, and the Moluccas Islands must be in the Spanish part of the world, according to the division that had been established by the Treaty of Tordesillas. The expedition, consisting of 5 ships with approximately 250 men on board and Magellan in command of the fleet, sailed to sea in August 1519. After passing through the Canary Islands, he headed for South America, traveling further south than he is today Brazil, then a Portuguese possession in America, where it explored every portion of the coast, navigating every gulf and every estuary in search of a passage to the Pacific Ocean. They had to spend the austral winter in the south of present-day Argentina, where a riot took place that meant the loss of 2 ships. When the cold season ended, they continued south until they found the passage we call the Strait of Magellan on November 27, 1520. Once in the ocean they would call the Pacific, they began a crossing that Magellan hoped would be a short one westward, towards Asia. He believed that beyond the pass there was a small sea, when in reality it was the largest of the oceans. Magellans Expedition traveled for 3 months across the Pacific without seeing land and almost without food. Due to the lack of fresh food, many sailors became sick with scurvy and died. The fleet finally reached the island of Guam in January 1521, then undertook a voyage to Asia. Magellan died in the Philippine Islands in a battle with natives. The expedition continued, under the command of Juan Sebastián Elcano, a Spanish navigator who, after reaching the Moluccas Islands and carrying spices, began the return journey along the well-known Portuguese route through the Indian Ocean, then circumnavigating Africa and arriving to Spain in September 1522. There was only one ship that completed the round the world, the Victoria, and only 18 sailors returned to it. Did you like the video? In the description you will find the blog link with the full article. Give an incentive by subscribing to the channel, liking, commenting and sharing with your friends. Hugs. Until the next.